Alright guys, welcome into Unimportant Viewpoint with Nate and Luke. So Nate, how was your week?
It was a week, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I know. I bet it was, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
You fucking punk. How dare you?
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm glad you weren't there because it was a long week. It was a 4-day week.
Yeah.
Still a long week.
Yep. I guarantee it. I was busy the whole time though, so it wasn't that relaxing of a vacation, but
Yeah, that's probably good though.
I was busy, so it's alright.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. My back finally got better, so
That's good.
I rested the whole week, and now I'm back to normal for the most part.
Nice. That's good then.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good. We finished our bathroom remodel finally last weekend, and when I say we, my husband did. I painted some walls, and that's really about all I did. But that's done. So we're taking a break from house projects for a minute.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to enjoy our free time for now.
Gotcha.
But it's nice to have that done because it was real annoying having like a half-finished bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I'm guaranteed
kind
it
of
probably
awful.
was. Yeah.
And then like last week, that's the bathroom I poop in.
Yeah.
So like the toilet was gone for like a day and a half. I'm ready to be done. I don't like using the other one. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It hits different.
What a weird thing to say, but I get it.
Yeah, you
I
have
get
to,
it.
like,
You're used to what you're used to.
I know you have like there's a special pooping place that you have. Like that's your go-to poop place. For me anyway. Like I have one. That's the only place I want to poop. If I gotta poop somewhere else, it's not a great time. It's terrible actually. I hate it.
Oh man.
So yeah, we got that done, and then last weekend I stayed home all weekend. The first time I've done that since vacation. Since before vacation. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I was like, don't make any plans. I'm not going nowhere. We ain't doing nothing. And it was great.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's pretty great.
I bet. Those are sometimes the best.
Yeah.
Those are sometimes the best vacations and the best like weekends. Is the ones where
I'm a
you just-
homebody, so like
you
I
make
was here
you
for
make
it.
the plans not to ever make any plans for that time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I'm good.
Well, I had a jam-packed
I know,
week,
you have so like triple what I did.
So I guess I'll go ahead and start. So
I won't talk for like half an hour probably.
no, you can jump in. So obviously I had my car problems last week. Finally got that fixed. It took a while because it was making like a crazy like dragging sound, but it turned out that the piece of metal that like blocks the brake, like the rotor from like stuff hitting it while you're driving, got bent and was like rubbing against the rotor. So that ended up being what the sound was. So we got that off and we got my tire off and bent that back straight. But then whenever we went to go put the brake caliper back on, we accidentally broke it.
Oops.
So then I had to go order a brake caliper because they didn't have them. So I didn't get to end up fixing it until Friday, which was yesterday. So
Oh wow. That's
so
good.
yeah, so I was without my vehicle. So I just had my in-laws' truck the whole time, and then we just spent most of the week either getting stuff ready for Thea's first birthday party.
Happy birthday, Thea.
Her very first birthday.
That's cute.
That was the theme. We did strawberries and stuff. But yeah, my little baby girl turned 1 yesterday, so
That's wild.
I know.
I feel like you
It is.
just had her like yesterday.
It is crazy. And then we worked on our building back at my parents' farm and stuff, trying to get it, which we were going to do 2 days of going over there, but we only ended up doing 1 because we had too much stuff to do at home. And then we got a pretty decent amount done on the first day we went. And so we didn't really feel like there was a lot that seemed like a waste of a drive to go over there just for a little bit.
That's a drive.
So so we just were like, let's just stay home and work on getting stuff ready for Thea's party. And then I don't know about if you have this problem, but I think you stay on the same like night sleep schedule pretty much, right?
I change it. I get up earlier.
Yeah.
But not drastic like you. I don't know how you do it.
So almost like So during the week, I sleep with a face mask on, like a sleep mask over my eyes, so that it's dark.
I can't do that.
And I don't know if it's because I got used to that or if it's just a coincidence, but it seems like on the weekend, so I don't sleep very long when I get home on Saturday. And so I took a half day last Friday, so I got home earlier, but I didn't fall asleep immediately, obviously, because I was still a little bit awake. So, I don't know, I probably fell asleep around 2, 3 o'clock, and I slept pretty decent amount-ish. But then, for whatever reason, Saturday night when I go to bed, I wake up early. Like, early.
Yeah, it's horrible.
On Sunday morning. Like, every time. Unless I wear my sleep mask. For some reason, occasionally I'll wear my sleep mask. I'll throw my sleep mask on, and I'll sleep the whole night all the way until, like, what would be a decent, normal time.
Yeah.
But I'm talking, like, if I don't wear it, like, I'll wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and be like wide awake.
That's your routine. You got to have a nightly routine.
And so like it's just, so I thought I was gonna like screw myself because I feel like it happened like twice during this.
Why don't you wear your sleep mask? Like
I didn't think about it and then after the first couple of days of like screwing myself up, and I'm like, oh my god, this sucks.
Yeah.
I put it on and I slept the whole night. So I don't know if this like sleep mask is actually it, or if it's just
it's your routine, bro. I promise.
I don't know.
If I alter from my routine, trash. Like,
dude, I'm a heavy sleeper though, and like I can sleep pretty much anywhere. So I feel like it's weird that
I am too, but like I don't know. Like if I forget, I sleep with wrist braces because my arms hurt. If I don't wear those, I don't sleep. If I like don't brush my teeth, I have to brush my teeth before I go to bed. If I don't, like if I'm drinking, like say if I drink too much one night, and I like try to go to bed, it doesn't happen. I have to brush my teeth. I have to put my little wrist things on. I have to get the blankies all like cuddled up to me. Otherwise, I'm not sleeping.
That's so funny.
Routine.
Yeah, I guess I thought it was weird, and I thought like it just was coincidence, but maybe that really is.
It's science,
like maybe
bro.
I just need to always put it on. It just seems weird to put it on at night because it's like it's pretty, which it's actually not bad now because my son sleeps in our room with us, and then my daughter's in our she's in our room, but she's in a crib in our room.
Yeah,
and so like we keep a couple light in our closet on. So it's not bad having the sleep mask on because it's actually not as dark in there as it actually would be. Because if it was normal, like it would be pitch black in there. But so it isn't completely dark. So I guess it that could be it too. It could be that I need to have the sleep mask on because it's a little bit too bright.
Maybe, yeah.
So I don't know.
I can't sleep with those masks. I tried it and it doesn't work. I toss and turn too much.
I had to because when Jenna was on maternity leave last year.
Oh, yeah.
I had to sleep in my kid's bedroom, and like during that time, and it like their bedroom is bright.
Yeah.
Like my bedroom is like fairly dark during the day.
You have blackout curtains?
Yeah, in my room.
Yeah.
But my kid's room is like they don't, and it's like
if I don't have blackout curtains,
and it's like straight up where the sun is. Like it's
trash.
It's bright.
Hashtag night
super
shift.
Bright.
Probs.
They got a huge my kid's room's got a huge window, so it's very very bright in there. So I had to get one then, and I don't wear it all the time, but I wear it a lot of the time.
Yeah. Now you gotta do it every time, bro.
Yeah. Apparently that is the case. But then we bought a Ring camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, it's been a little bit. It's probably been a couple weekends that I could have set it up and I just never did. But I finally set it up.
Yeah.
Over this past weekend, leading into this week. And the thing's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool. It is I will say it is very annoying, which it's a good thing that you can like dismiss, like silence it or whatever, snooze it, but it's annoying whenever you're actually doing something and you keep going out your front door and it just like every time's like bing bing. It's like, God, shut up.
Yeah, we have Ring. I got a new phone after we installed it. Haven't put it back on my new phone because I hated it. I hate getting those notifications. It's so annoying.
I think I'll like it. Well, like, especially whenever I go back to work, like I'm gonna like it because like if for some reason something like ever does happen, like
yeah,
I'll be able to see.
I should have it on mine. I just haven't downloaded it again.
But like, I mean, for one thing, I doubt really anything crazy is gonna happen. But there is the camera there now, so that
yeah.
But so I put that up, and that's actually, like I said, it's pretty cool. And then on Wednesday, my wife's car, she had a Trailblazer, and it only fits 5, but basically with our kids, like we were, that was it.
Yeah,
we only had enough room for our 2 kids,
and you want like 100, so.
And so we plan on having more kids, and so we're both gonna have to get a new vehicle when the time like comes. If we have another kid, we'll both have to get a new vehicle.
Yeah.
So we had already talked about it, and I was like, one of us needs to like go ahead and get a vehicle now, so that there's like at least plenty of time before we have any other kids, before we have to get another one. And so she was like telling me to go ahead and get a truck, and I'm like, I plan on keeping my car, and you're not gonna keep your car. You're gonna trade it in. I was like, shouldn't we trade the new vehicle like while it's closer to being new with less miles on it and get more out of it for a trade-in than just me buying a truck? Seems kind of
probably.
So I'm like, we're gonna do. So we went Wednesday and went car shopping, and we drove one car and we bought it.
You bought a car?
Yeah. So she's got a new Chevy Traverse.
Oh yeah, those are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What color is it?
She went specifically for this. She went specifically for a silver. It was like a silver one. I think it was like called Sterling Silver was the car color. She went for that and had blackout emblems and all that stuff. We went for that one, but they had sold it already. And so then the only ones they had were a silver sage, a white, and a black. And so we ended up with a silver sage.
Oh, so okay. You took the safe route.
No, it's not safe.
What?
No, it's when it first. Well, first of all, when we saw it online, it was ugly. Online, it was not pretty looking. It was super green looking online. And so we were like, so whenever he said that was the only one, he pulled up in it. First of all, he went to go get the silver one, and we thought he was going to get the silver one. And when he came back, he pulled up, and it was the silver sage one, and I could see it out the window, and I could tell it wasn't the silver one.
Yeah.
So I had the image of the green one in my head, and I'm like, oh god. So he came back in, and Jen was like, "Dude, do you not have the silver one?" He goes, "No, that's it." And she's like, "No, that's not the silver one." So then he looked it up, and he's like, "Oh no, we sold the silver one." He's like, "This one is silver, but it's called Silver Sage." And so he's like, "Let's just go out there and look at it." So we went out there, and once we got outside, it looks way better than what it looks like in pictures. So in the pictures, I don't know if it's the lighting or what, because it can look pretty green in certain lighting.
It's a weird color,
but it's one of those colors like it looks different in different lighting.
Yeah,
so like it looks like pretty silver sometimes, and then it looks kind of like silvery green sometimes. So, but it's grown on me. I think it looks really sharp now.
Traverses, they're nice cars.
But at first I was like, oh my god, no.
It's not the right brand of car, but that's fine.
You're silly. It is the right brand of car.
Yeah, Chevy's
it's all we have. She had a Chevy Trailblazer, now she's got a Chevy Traverse, and I've got a Chevy Malibu, and then my plan is to get a Chevy Silverado.
Chevy, if you're listening, I love you. Sponsor us, give us money.
And then the last thing, well, no, I got 2 more things.
You have a lot.
So Jenna was baking Thea's cakes for her party. Like, she was baking like 2 like little cakes for like a 2-tiered cake for her birthday party. And she like put them out on like the wherever that cooling rack thing is that bakers have. I don't know. Anyways,
literally,
it's like
I don't
a
know.
little like wire rack.
Yeah,
and
I
she
know
like, put them
what
out
you're
there to cool off. And she was like, "Look how beautiful my cakes are." And she was standing where like over like close to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "I can't see them." And she's like, "They're right there." And I was like, "Well, I mean, like, let me peek around the corner. Yeah, those are some beautiful cakes." And she was
Hell
like, "You're
yeah.
so stupid."
That was so. I saw you put it on the notes app, and I'm like, "What cakes are you talking about?"
Yeah.
That
She was
first-
talking about her cakes she baked for Thea's party.
Jenna
I
has-
was talking about Jenna's cakes.
I love Jenna's cakes. They look great.
So she was like, "You're stupid. That was the lamest joke ever." And I'm like, "No,
No, that
was
my
a
mind
good
went
one.
there. That was a good joke.
a good one."
That was a good joke. Jenna, you're wrong.
Oh, and then the last thing is, have you been to Room 40?
No, what is that? I don't know.
What is what?
Room 40.
Room 40's nuts.
You motherfucker.
Got him.
Damn, I got set up and executed just now on the air. You. That was really good.
I was literally listening to
You punk.
I was listening to an interview, a Barstool interview, and they were interviewing.
I hate you.
They were interviewing. Oh, what is
so
it? The
annoying.
Bills quarterback. What's his name?
Josh Allen?
Yeah, they were interviewing him, and they were talking about, like, the Barstool guys were talking about some restaurant. I'd never heard of it, but I think it was like a breakfast spot maybe.
Uh-huh.
And so Josh Allen's like, "Y'all need to go to Room 40. Like, seriously, like,
I'm so annoyed.
check out Room 40." And they were like, "Okay, we'll go to if you go to whatever the place was, we'll go to Room 40." And he's like, where are you gonna go?" And they said Room 40, and he goes, "Room 40's nuts." And I was like, "That's hilarious."
I can't.
And they were
you're
like,
so annoying.
it was a whole conversation they'd had for like a little while, and then like they were both just sitting there like, "Dang, we just walked right into
Yep.
that."
You didn't even need to set it up. I walked right. I just accepted my fate there. Damn, that was a good one. I'm gonna use that at work.
We do those at work all the time.
Ours aren't that clever.
There's a guy on our line that he knows like a bunch of them. So I like one of the other guys he really likes, like, he cracks up every time. He's like, "Oh, that's a good one." So I'll ask the dude that knows a bunch of them, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Hey, tell me one," and he'll tell me one, and I'll go up to him and I'll do it to the other guy, and he'll be like, "Dang, that was a good one."
Man, y'all are dumb.
But anyways,
That was dumb. I'm annoyed.
so now you got a little joke you can play.
That was pretty good.
Prank you can play on somebody.
I can't believe you added it to the notes just so you could.
Oh, I had to
Fucking
do it
set
to
me
you.
up,
I had to do
punk.
it to you.
You're annoying.
So that's it for pretty much for what I did this week.
That's it.
We did it was
You had a pretty.
it was
chill
kind of
week.
stupid, but it was good.
It was a good week though.
But yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot to even mention Thea. Man, she destroyed
Hell
that cake.
yeah, get it, girl.
So like, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but on my son's first birthday, he wouldn't touch it.
Uh-huh.
And so I took his hands and I shoved them into the cake. Like, I pushed them into the cake
Did he
to try
cry?
to get him to try it.
Yeah.
No, he didn't cry. He literally started gagging. Like, immediately was like,
That's real.
like sitting in his high chair, just like,
You traumatized that poor kid.
like, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy." We
Yeah.
were like watching him, and my wife was mad at me. She was like, "I can't believe you just did that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wanted him to try. I didn't think he was gonna start gagging and almost
Hashtag
throw up.
Dad of the year.
Yeah, I do dumb stuff like that all the
So
time.
Thea went to town. She
But
crushed it.
Thea, I mean, as we have the cake down there in front of her, and as we're singing her happy birthday, she's already like running her fingers down the side of the cake. But man, dude, she destroyed it, and I
Good
think
for her.
she ate a pretty decent amount of it. I'm talking like she got her hands down into the center of the cake and was like,
She's doing it right.
separating the cake,
That's
like,
right.
pulling it apart with her hands.
Get it, girl.
Like, I'd never seen a kid do that with like their first birthday cake.
She
It was
knew.
crazy.
She knew what was up.
Yeah, she was tearing it up. But it's hilarious watching kids on their first birthday when they have like all that sugar, and they're just like, you watch them just slowly like go into a sugar coma
Yep.
in their high chair. Like, she just like slowly is like,
Poor baby.
like falls down into like a stupor.
Uh-huh.
But she was a mama's girl that whole day, and Jenna was busy like setting stuff up, and I was trying to like keep them busy and entertained, and that was
not having it.
That was a little bit of a nightmare because she wasn't having it. She wasn't having it at all. But
she wanted to.
We had a good time. We had a blow up water slide for the kids, and it was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I still have to clean all that up. I'm not looking forward to that. So.
You got a couple days.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So we'll move on to nerding. We're supposed to go golfing tomorrow, guys, so we won't have a golf update this week, but we'll update you next week.
Yeah.
So,
are we still going?
I'm pretty sure we are.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything different, so I'm assuming we are. So we'll go ahead and move on to nerding. So, Nate, have you started to nerd out on anything?
Kind of, yeah. So last weekend, I'm on TikTok a lot because I have, no life.
Yeah.
I keep seeing freaking Breaking Bad clips, like, constantly.
Yeah.
So I restarted it this past weekend. It's great. Like, what a great show.
It is very good.
So I watched it during COVID, like when we were quarantined or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's the first time you ever watched it?
Yep. I binged the crap out of it. So I watched it so fast, I don't remember, like, hardly anything.
Yeah.
I remember the big moments, but, like, other things, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about when you,
fucking speed
super
to a show.
binge something is that, you miss some stuff.
Yep. So I'm, halfway through season 1. It's great. And this, I don't know. It's a great show, man.
It is very good.
It's
very good. I can get behind some Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That was one of the first shows that I like super.
Yeah.
Hardcore nerded out about. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it and actually digest it properly this time.
Yeah.
Instead of just
take it a little slower.
Rushing through it.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I might drop it at some point. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I want to watch that, off topic a little bit, but I want to watch that Johnny Manziel documentary.
I do too, because
I still haven't watched it yet.
Manziel is the man.
But I've heard some stuff about it.
Yeah, I've been reading on Twitter.
There's a lot of not positive about Johnny Manziel in it.
Well,
so.
Yeah. He's kind of a douche.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, from the sense that, he just apparently didn't really seem to care about football and, just wanted to be famous kind of stuff. So, he didn't take football serious at all.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, but, at the same time, the only way he was going to be famous would be football, and he didn't take it serious, and look where he is now. Not famous because
he's all right. He's doing all right. He's fine.
Yeah. He could have been doing a lot
better.
He
could have been doing a lot better.
Could have been doing a lot better.
But, if my dumb self got all that money and, all that fame instantly, I probably would have made some bad choices, too.
Yeah. I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just saying, I don't know, he didn't make it. He didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was doing those dumb things before he actually started getting...
Yeah,
Which I guess he kind of was getting money, because apparently...
apparently
that...
Under the table.
Yeah, apparently his family being rich was actually a lie. It was just under the table
Isn't
money
that
being
wild?
sent to him. So.
Bro, I'm hyped to watch it.
So, but anyways. So, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you Breaking Bad to talk about that, but...
Yeah, rude. Anyway, watching Breaking Bad was great.
Yep.
my other nerding thing... I haven't read a book in probably a month or so.
Yeah.
Because you keep coming over for lunch and interrupting my reading time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to stop?
No, I like when you come over. But I haven't been able to read because I just haven't. But I started a new book, and it's going. I'm liking it so far. It's a Steinbeck book, The Grapes of Wrath, a American classic.
Yeah.
Which I'll talk more about Steinbeck here shortly.
I would love to read some of those.
You should.
Some of them, it's like some of the classics are just, they're so hard to get into. I read Frankenstein, and oh my god, that book is so...
That's been all over my TikTok recently. The Frankenstein book.
Yeah.
And people love it. I don't.
It is good if you can force yourself to read the whole thing. Yeah. It's just one of those things that's, man, I think it's just the old world language usage that just it's hard for me to get into it. You know what I mean? It's it's a drag the whole time.
Yep.
It's a good
Steinbeck,
story, but
super easy to read. You should check out Steinbeck.
Alrighty.
I'll talk more about him later. But anyway, that's all my nerding. I started reading again. That was fun.
Gotcha. Well, you talked about TikTok getting you into something you're nerding out about.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't even know how this happened. I don't know how this happened. Obviously, it just popped up into my feed, I guess. But it started because I was watching Cars, like the TV, like the movie Cars,
like the Disney movie.
The Disney movie, yeah. So it was Cars diecast, and this dude had built like this big track in his house, I guess, and he was racing them, and he was like commentating them. So it wasn't just like, it was like a dude commentating the race, like, and he was like actually acting like they were legitimately, like, you know what I mean, legitimately actual Lightning McQueen racing whoever.
Uh-huh.
And so I watched it because I was going to show my son.
Sure.
So I watched the first one because I was going to show my son if it was cool. But then like I never showed my son, and I just went to this dude's TikTok page and I was just watching diecast car racing.
So horrible.
They had like Fast and Furious cars racing. Dude, it's actually pretty good. I went into a rabbit hole of watching this dude's like diecast racing. It's actually pretty cool though. Like the cars, he'll have like ramps in it, and like the cars will actually legitimately ramp and then like land somehow perfectly, or they'll be like off kilter and like kind of flip themselves into the right position and like keep going. And then like he had like distance races, so it wasn't like just straight up like two cars beside each other racing. It was like he would let one go down the track and see how far it went, and then he would let the next one go down the track and see if it could pass the first one.
I've watched.
So then I was like
before.
addicted to like seeing, okay, is this car gonna, and watching it and being like, oh, has he got enough speed to outdo this other one? So that apparently happened.
I don't want to yuck on your yum, but I hate that. That's what a terrible.
But I got really into it, and then I as well started. I didn't really think about this, but I started reading that Foundation series. I don't remember if I said anything about starting it last week or not, because I can't remember if I'd started it yet.
No.
But I started reading it, and it's actually pretty good so far. I haven't made it that far yet, but the chapters are like pretty short, so it's actually, I think I'm gonna actually be able to like make myself read it, because like sometimes like I'll like want to read, but then I'll be like, I don't want to read a whole, like I don't want to read long enough to read a whole chapter, and I don't want to start a chapter and not finish it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like,
I don't like stopping.
Screw it, I won't read. So this one, I think I'll be able to just like in those moments, I can, when I have just a few minutes, I can actually pick it up and actually read it. So
that's on my. I'm gonna read that at some point.
Yeah. So far, it's pretty good. It's very early on, so I don't really. So far, I've only met the Emperor, and then this mathematician guy. That is going to be a big part of it too. This is the only people I've met so far, pretty much.
I've heard good things about it.
So, but yeah, so far so good. But apparently, it's an Apple Plus TV show.
I heard the show's not bad.
Yeah. That they must have like a lot of like pretty good shows on there.
Apple's pretty solid, bro.
Yeah, because like that Silo from that other book series I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's on. They have a TV show on there, and I've heard that's really good too.
Ted Lasso's great.
Apparently, the Foundation has a TV show on there too.
You should get Apple. Apple's great.
Dude, I'm trying to save money, not spend money. But that's pretty much it for stuff I'm nerding out on. So we'll go ahead and move on to the news, which we have a couple fight ones that I'm interested to hear your take on. But the first one is the ACC. It might have fallen apart at this point.
I think it has fallen apart.
I don't know, but the last I heard, it was starting to fall apart.
So dumb.
But at one point, the ACC was considering adding Cal and Stanford and SMU to the ACC, which are schools on the SMU's in Texas, so it's not as bad. But you're talking two schools on the West Coast, on the Pacific Coast, to the Atlantic Coast Conference. That shit made no sense to me. When that first started coming up, I'm like, that is when I was like, all right, this conference realignment has gotten
Too far.
really out of control.
It's
really out of control.
I hate it so much.
Like, up till now, I feel like roughly it's kind of still somewhat made sense.
Kind of, yeah.
Like the Southeastern Conference added Texas and Oklahoma. That's still, it's not necessarily really Eastern, but it's still Southern. Yeah. And like they had Texas A&M already. Like it's not that outrageous to add Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And then the Big Ten and the Big 12, like they didn't go that far out of their wheelhouse when they added the teams that they added. Like it's not as bad. Like
they
it's
added USC and
I know, but it's still not. It's not the East Coast and the West Coast. Like,
bro, Ohio's basically the East Coast.
Yeah, but I feel like
in Michigan.
Yeah, but I'm saying Ohio is on the very far edge of that conference.
Maryland's in the Big Ten. And Rutgers.
I know, but they're all on the very far edge. Like Ohio, Rutgers, all them, they're on the far edge. It mostly is back mid.
Yeah.
Midway of the country. Baloney. The ACC is literally all bunched together on the freaking East Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's literally every team is going to have to travel super far anytime they play them.
And
then they are all going to have to travel super far every time unless they're playing Cal or SMU.
Yep.
Like otherwise they're going to be traveling forever. If that had happened, can you imagine like the non-big sports, like the non like basketball and football and stuff,
softball,
and having
baseball,
to travel?
Yep.
That'd have been a nightmare.
You see what Missouri's coach said about the whole realignment?
Yeah, you sent me that stupid thing. I think
he was right though. They don't take into account the student athlete. Like they're not the priority, which is obvious because money's the priority. Yeah. But like the baseball, the softball players, like they have to travel across the country. They get home like 3 or 4 in the morning, go to class at 8.
Yeah, I mean
that's fucking terrible. Like they gotta sleep. You can't expect them to perform.
I get why he was saying that, but I'm also like, dude, you probably should just not talk on this because you are coaching Missouri.
He is so annoying.
Who literally just did it not that long ago. So it's like one of those things where like I know he wasn't there and like whatever, but he's got to like realize that he is coaching.
He gets in trouble.
The institution.
He gets in trouble every year.
Not that long ago. So that was the part that I'm like, okay, bud, just like I know you weren't a part of this, and like your point is valid, but also like your school literally just did it like not that long ago, and like luckily it turned out you ended up in a conference, but like really you're in the middle of the country, so like there was almost no conference you could have ended up at. Like other than maybe the Pac-12, there was no conference they could have ended up with in after they left that would have been like a crazy travel. So like you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like so I guess in their situation like they weren't gonna like screw up all the athletes. But I mean if you think about it, even in the SEC they're pretty far up and out away from everybody. Like y'all definitely probably have the worst like travel wise, I would think almost.
I think A&M is worse.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, but A&M's close to all the like the bundle of schools. Like you guys are close to us in Vandy and Tennessee,
Arkansas.
But like
us in Florida's far.
But like once you get to like everybody else that's like super east southern, I mean, it's
ideal.
Like there's a ton that are really far away.
I mean, even in the Big 12, we were not super close.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are in a weirdly positioned spot on the map.
We're a dumb state. Missouri was a dumb state.
Because like y'all probably are pretty close to being almost roughly in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
So there's probably no place y'all were not going to be the outlier no matter where you went.
We don't fit anywhere. It's a really great time.
Y'all fit in the SEC. Y'all are there.
According to you and me only. Everybody else hates us. It's fine.
I mean, I don't necessarily like your guys' team.
I hate your team.
It's one of those things where y'all came into the conference, I didn't really care about Missouri one way or the other, but then like after
we were good.
After y'all came in and we had our run-ins, I'm like, dude, screw Missouri fans. Screw Missouri and their fans.
Fuck Kentucky and all their stupid fans. Also, we have the number 3 recruiting class in basketball right now.
Ooh.
We're killing
in 2024?
Yeah.
It's the worst class.
We're better
Actually,
than
it's
you.
not 2024, is it? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care either, but I just want to rub it in your face.
I think it is 2020. I think it is 2024 class.
Yeah.
No, it is 2025 class, right?
No, it's 24.
Fuck, I don't know. Whatever.
God.
Either way.
That was a dumb. We're better than you.
That's fine. You know the why? It's because we're not recruiting it because it's not a good class of basketball players.
I would say that too if we were losing.
No, I'm being dead serious. Just FYI for you. I don't even care if you're number 3 or whatever.
It won't last anyway.
But regardless, it might though, because like I'm telling you that from everybody that talks about it, like this class is like very low on talent. So there's a lot of people that are like saying that like there's a lot of these schools are probably going to start going after 25 guys to reclass because the 24 talent pool.
I hate that so much.
The 24 talent pool's like not, and 25 is supposed to be like really loaded, but 24 is supposed to not be very loaded at all.
How convenient for you.
Well, I mean, that's the reason why we're not up there in the rankings and recruiting is because we're not recruiting it that hard.
That's what I would say too. Anyway, move on. I'm tired of being right.
Anyways, and so the next thing is we'll do the Guardians MLB.
Yeah, that was dope.
Go ahead and get the sports mixed with fighting out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember the dudes' names now.
Tim Anderson and
Tim Anderson, yeah, I do remember that one.
Who's the other dude?
Ramirez?
Yeah, I don't care about baseball. But the fight was cool.
Tim Anderson was on the
Seattle
White Sox. Why did I think it was Seattle? You're right, though. It was the White Sox.
I don't know.
No, you're right. Anyways, Tim Anderson was on the White Sox, and the Ramirez guy was on the Guardians, right?
Yep.
Well, I guess it was the Ramirez that slid into second.
Yep.
So the Ramirez slid into second, and I guess the Tim Anderson took offense to it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And the Tim Anderson was pretty tall. He was slender, but he was a pretty tall dude.
Yeah.
And then the Ramirez was like a little short, like stocky dude.
Yeah.
Like he was probably about my height, but he was like obviously way more jacked and stockier than me. But anyways, and so he slid into second. I guess the Tim Anderson dude took offense to it. I don't know, but apparently, from anything I've saw, the camera like pans away from him, like when the argument happens.
Yeah.
So you don't really see what like actually necessarily started it.
You see the swing though.
But you see him get into a fight, and then one of the White Sox. This is the thing that I'm going to see what your take is on it. But here's the thing about this fight. Is I think the White Sox teammate of the Tim Anderson kind of screwed him. Because he started holding back the Ramirez guy and like trying to separate them. And so I think the Tim Anderson kind of settled down a little bit and held up.
Yeah.
And so then the Ramirez got loose on that punch and knocked him back. Rocked him. And I think he kind of got screwed in that situation.
I didn't notice that.
You'll have to if anybody that hasn't watched it and wants to watch the video, check it out, but rewatch it because I'm pretty sure from the video I saw that one of the Tim Anderson's teammates like grabs the Ramirez guy and tries to like hold him like to separate them.
Yeah.
And it looked to me like the Tim Anderson was kind of like, I'm not gonna punch a dude that's getting held.
And then
the dude like the teammate didn't really have a great handle on the Ramirez guys, and that guy got loose with a punch.
You rocked him, bro.
And decked him.
Like, I love... Because, like, a lot of baseball fights are dumb.
Oh, yeah.
They square up, nothing happens.
And then they, like, just, like,
it's
wrestle.
Stupid. So, him actually landing it was great.
Well, they actually, when it happened, they actually legitimately squared up. Yeah. Like, they both got into, like, a boxing
And that
stance.
happens, but, like, no... Usually, there's no, like, reward for watching it. They square up, they get separated, it's over. It's a big waste of time.
Yeah.
This one, they made it worth it. It was great.
Did you see what happened? Did they...
Yeah,
I never followed it.
I think... I don't remember. Both of them got suspended, and then I think another White Sox player got suspended or something.
Gotcha. Just
like a handful again, wasn't very much.
Yeah. Well, you should punish the dude that landed the punch, for sure, because...
No, it's... Let them fight, man. Baseball's boring. Having a fight would like make it way better.
I agree with that, but you can't. you can't like actually condone it. I know hockey does, but like that's kind of crazy that they do.
I think baseball needs more viewers. That's how you do it.
Just let them fight all the time.
Fist fight.
I don't know,
Yep.
man. I don't know. It's a little bit different of a sport too, for it to be like you fighting all the time. Because like hockey, at least like they're bashing into each other the whole game. It kind of makes sense that you get pissed and like want to fight.
Yeah.
But baseball's like not a whole lot of contact in baseball.
There should be.
The
It'll
only
be a better
contact
sport
you
if there
have
was.
is like pitchers throwing a ball at somebody.
Yeah, I don't love that so much.
Yeah, that's kind of
dangerous.
That's kind of shitty, is what that is.
I don't like that, but fist fighting, I'm all for it.
But yeah, so, and then our next one is another fist fight. This is like a
yeah.
WWE maybe
There's some weapons involved
going on in this one. But so in Montgomery County, on a river, there was it was some sort of tour thing, wasn't it? Or like I don't know what exactly it was. It was some sort of big boat with like lots of people on it. But they had this place they had to like park their big whatever boat thing at. But there was a pontoon that was parked there, and they had been told not to park there apparently. And like they had docked their boat like right where the thing needed to be. So I guess they let off the co-captain of this boat, and he went and like undid the pontoon boat and pushed it further down the dock and then re-tied it up. And then these two dudes come over and like start arguing with them, and then all of a sudden a brawl breaks out.
It was
and
awesome.
Like a big group of people like just like attack this poor dude.
Yeah, for doing his job.
And like, and it seemed like some people like jumped in that I'd never even seen in the video up to that point. So I'm like, where did you come out of the woodworks thinking that you knew who was right and wrong in this situation? Who just like jumps into a fight?
They're ready for action, bro.
And it'd be different if like they jumped into the fight on the side of the dude that's getting like ambushed.
Yeah.
But they jumped in on the side of the people that were ambushing the dude, and I'm like, how did you even know what was even going on? To like you might not like, even if it was my friend, if like two of my friends or three of my friends were ganging up on some dude and I did not know the situation of what was going on, I don't think I would go over there and jump in on their side and start beating the dude up. I think I would like start pulling them off of the dude and be like, dude, what's going on here? Like, you're gonna seriously hurt this dude.
You know what I'm gonna do? Pull out my phone and record it.
Exactly like all the other people that did.
I ain't jumping in, I ain't helping.
People need to look up this video because it is melee and
it's
crazy.
Wild. There's a chair.
There's a dude swinging a chair, which he got arrested.
A dude swimming trying to get to the fight.
I think there's 5 dudes that got arrested, or 5 people that got arrested. 4 of them were guys and one female. But yeah, there's people like jumping off the boat, like the cruise vessel or whatever it is. There's people jumping off of that and swimming to the shore.
It's wild.
It's like the bunch of people that were on the actual big boat or whatever, they went to the aid of the co-captain dude, and so like it just turned into like pure chaos.
It's a great
fighting.
video.
But then Nate showed me, I hadn't seen this one, but Nate showed me a video of the dude that jumped off and swam to shore and then hopped up onto the thing, and then the fight was pretty much over by the time he got there.
He was swimming. He got there, and then it's like, oh shit, it's over, bro.
But yeah, it's just the one dude with the chair, like he's like waylaying on that one dude with it, just hitting him hard.
I've been seeing TikToks of people going to like Walmart and picking up a folding chair, like pretend like testing it out, like sizing it up, see if it's good, like a swinging chair. Like, y'all are dumb.
And then this is like, this part cracked me up in like this is not that kind of that funny, but there's this dude that comes up to defend, like the first dude that comes up to defend the co-captain guy. He like jumps in and starts like trying to pull people off of him and like fighting dudes that were like fighting him. But there's this one guy that is laying on top of the co-captain, and he's like trying to protect him from all of the, like, to take some of the blows from all the dudes that are like attacking the co-captain. He's laying on top of him trying to do that. Well, this bystander that comes in to try to help the dude that's getting attacked, the co-captain guy. He comes in, he starts pulling all these dudes off. Well, he sees the dude laying on top of him, and he just assumes, like, mortal enemy, and pulls the dude off that's, like, on the same side and starts trying to fight him.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's just so chaos and just...
You get in the heat of battle, you don't...
So funny.
You don't know what's going on.
But it's just so funny because the dude, he gets pulled off of him, and, like, the guy, like, kind of, like, swings at him a couple times, and then I think either the guy's like, whoa, bud, like, I'm on the same side. I don't know exactly how they communicated, but they separate, and it's like, feeling bad.
My bad.
You just, like, start having, like, that's when you start having, like, the barroom brawls where, like, everybody's punching everybody because nobody knows who's on whose side.
Battle Royale. Be the last man standing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it looked like it was going to turn into. And then, we're going to turn it down a lot.
Yeah, this is a really weird transition.
This is, this is very sad. I probably would have known about this anyways, but I used to work with a lady that was originally from Hawaii, and her family still lives there. Part of her family still lives there. And my wife worked with her too, and they're pretty good friends. And so I was just like following along most of it through her because she was posting stuff like looking for her dad and stuff. But they had fires in Maui. It was during the week, right?
It was during the week, yeah.
Yeah. But apparently it spread so rapidly, like people were having to like, their only escape was like to jump into the ocean and swim away from it and stuff. It's very sad. Yep. Yeah. It looks like most of that area that it started in is like,
it's gone. Pretty
much, yeah, just destroyed completely. And it's just very sad. And like witnessing it firsthand, like somebody not knowing if like their family's okay, because there was a long time where she couldn't get in touch with anybody to find out if her dad was all right.
Yeah.
And then finally I'm talking like it was probably over a day before she found out for sure. So she just kept posting stuff like trying to get people to like, if anybody saw him, to let her know and stuff.
Is he okay?
And it's just, yeah, he ended up being all right. He stayed at his house, and his house just never got
That's good.
that far or whatever, however it worked out. But he ended up being okay. But obviously there was no, you couldn't get communication into that area because there was no way to communicate with anybody in that area.
It's so wild to think like how devastating fires can be.
Oh yeah, like how quickly they.
It's hard to wrap my brain around it.
When you think about how hard it is to like start a fire.
Yeah.
And then it's like
you can't stop it.
You can't stop it. That's the crazy. It's so hard to start. Like I feel like it's so hard to start. Like when you're trying to just start like a fire in a fire pit or anything like that. Like it seems like it's so freaking hard and so annoying, but yet like when that thing goes, it spreads and there's no stopping it. Especially if it's like dry. And I was reading some stuff. I don't know how true this is, so fully admit that like most of the time if I say something, it's probably like just something I heard and not something I like looked up in depth.
Yeah.
So it could be totally false, but I read something where this one lady was saying like some of the fire hydrants and stuff just didn't even have water to them and stuff. And so if that's true, that's not great. It's not great, yeah. But like basically their argument is that like a lot of the water and stuff being diverted to resorts and stuff like that as opposed to the town and stuff like that. So if that's the case, that sucks for
wouldn't be surprised.
that sucks for them, and like that kind of makes you feel horrible about like the fact that like, and we should, I mean honestly, like we're very privileged in this country, so like we should kind of feel bad sometimes about like the things that we do. Like we get all these privileged things that like kind of screw other people over, you know what I mean?
That's America, bro.
And
that's how we started.
Kind of makes you feel bad, but we deserve to feel bad about it, to be honest.
I don't disagree.
So, but that stuff, that was devastating. It was that was just the pictures and stuff from that is horrible. And like,
yep.
we literally just, in my home state, you know, we literally just this last year had tornadoes and flooding and all kinds of crazy stuff, and the devastation that happened from them. Like, you just, communities like that don't recover.
No.
Sometimes they don't recover at all, and they definitely don't recover very quickly. And when stuff like this happens, because we have access to so much information, like, it just gets passed over soon. So like, people that live in this area, like, they'll get money for a little while, and it's going to be really great for a little while,
and then they're on their own.
But then they're going to be on their own after that, and
we'll forget about it.
And there won't be money flowing in, and it'll be hard. So
yeah,
I don't know what you do, because like, there's always something else happening somewhere else. But those areas, they're going to get swamped with support now, and then a year from now it's still going to be almost just as bad. They're not going to have anything, so any sort of anything coming in. So, and especially in Hawaii, they've got to, like, you know what I mean, they've got to
fly. It's hard.
Yeah, it's all like export based. There's no, or import based. There's not really much that they're producing there. That's why everything's so expensive there. So
everythings are expensive there.
That makes it even harder, probably, for them to be able to do anything about it. So I just don't. That area might not ever recover. Just kind of, I guess it kind of depends. The one, I guess, good thing about the resorts is that, like, they're probably going to want to make sure that, like, if there is a resort in that general area, which doesn't mean there probably is, they're probably going to want to make sure it's recovered so they can start making their money again.
But that's kind of, I don't know, yeah. It seems kind of shitty to, like, go to that resort, like, and have, like, a nice vacation, and then while the surrounding area is, like, devastated and struggling, and I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that they'll really have very many people come, because I mean, what are they going to do? There's not.
Go to the
you
beach.
Basically would have to just stay at the resort. There's no visiting Hawaii. Not really. I mean, you can, but like, the whole area around it's going to be destroyed. You're going to have to, like, travel further away to go anywhere. So that's what I'm saying. That's the one good thing probably potentially about there being a resort there, is that there might be some help coming from that, just so that they can make sure their resort doesn't fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sad stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and move on to our top 5 favorite books.
Hell yeah.
Is what we decided to do this week. So we did top 5 favorite standalone books. Just so everybody knows, this is probably not actually accurate for my top 5. I was having such a hard time even thinking of books.
That's wild. That,
like, some of these probably, a few of these would probably be in my top 5, but I can guarantee you I left out a bunch, I bet. But the only way I could do it was, like, mostly just to look at our bookshelves of books that I read, and, like, basically rank those. But I know there's, like, some that I've either listened to audiobook wise or something that I don't have a copy of.
Yeah, my top 5 is locked and loaded. I'm always updating mine, like, in my head. I have mental notes.
Yeah.
I read a book and I love it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like my number 3 now.
I do.
Mine's locked. Mine's always ready to go.
These are all books that I really do like, so at the very least, like, they're probably in my top 10 at least. I can guarantee you I probably have left something out.
I've read a couple of yours.
So we'll go ahead and start. If you want to go ahead and start your honorable mentions. I think so, but I'm not positive.
I think so. I don't remember
but
either.
I think you are.
I'm going first anyway. Who cares? My first honorable mention, it's Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I've never read it.
So it's a weird book. I don't know that you would like it.
Well, I haven't even watched the movie either.
I love the movie.
I've heard the movie's a little weird too, like that.
It is.
So
It's a weird story. I like this book. I wish I would have read it in high school. It would really help me back then. I read it after college, so I was an adult.
Yeah.
But like the main character is like quiet, like kind of like a weird, quiet kid.
Yeah.
Which I vibe with. There's a gay character in the book that he's wild, but like I think reading that in high school would have helped me.
Help you be more wild.
I don't know, man. It would have been. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But the writing style is neat. Each chapter, like the writing. I'm really bad at describing things. The format is the main character. He's writing a letter to like an unknown recipient.
Oh, so it's like a first person view.
Yeah, he's kind of like
them delivering it, but it's not actually them.
Yeah, he never says who it's going to, so you kind of can interpret it however you want to.
Yeah.
It's kind of his journey of like being this weird, shy kid, no friends, to like he finds his people, his group of weirdos. He starts to grow into himself a little bit.
Yeah.
And there is a weird turn if you decide to read this book. There's a weird, very weird turn. But yeah, it's a good book.
Yeah.
The movie's great too. I recommend the movie.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I haven't read that one. I think I've only read 3.
I've read
3 of yours.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of like you'll have to explain what it's about.
There's some I want you to read, but I'll tell you when I get there. My second honorable mention is It by Stephen King.
Good book.
Have you read it? Okay, cool.
Yes,
cool,
I have.
Cool.
Yes, I watched the newest one, not the newest one in the sense like I watched the first one of the newer ones.
Like the most,
like the kid version of the new one.
That one's great.
I literally own the adult version of the new one, and I still haven't watched it yet.
It's not.
But Jenna said it was good.
I like it. It's not. I don't know. It's fine.
But I never even like I watched the kid version of the newer ones, and like I always thought it was just kid the whole time.
Oh yeah, no.
So when I read the book, I'm like, oh, there's a whole nother piece of this.
And I love how they do it.
That was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, I definitely and it wasn't that long ago that I read it. So
yeah. It was my first Stephen King book.
I kind of remember it somewhat.
I love.
You have a few Stephen King books. Stephen King is a murderer of books.
What?
Like good murderer, like kills it.
Oh, I thought I was about to have a problem.
Because I've read one of your other ones that are on here, and that one is so good.
I hope it's the one.
So good, but
is it one number 3?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great. I love
good.
That. Okay.
Anyway, that book is so good.
I'm very hyped. Okay. Cool. But yeah, it's a great book. I read it because I was scared to watch the movie. So I wanted to read it first to know like what happens, which in hindsight, not a great idea.
Yeah,
because the book is terrifying.
Yeah, I'm like, what? That's the worst.
Bro, I don't fucking like clowns. I don't like clowns.
I get that, but that's the worst way to go about it. Book is going to be so much more detailed and like and like they're making you think about it. Yep. That's the thing too. Like if you're watching on screen, you can like separate yourself from it a little bit. Like you can think about something else, but if you're reading it, that's what's in your head,
dude. I read that book so fast because I was scared like the whole time.
I needed to know. You were running from the clown the whole book.
I was like, I know the clown's not going to win. I have to get to the end so he gets defeated, which may or may not happen. No spoilers here. Great book. Highly recommend. My last one is a weird one, but I feel like I should mention it. It's the Stoic Challenge. Let me look up the author just in case people... Actually, I don't care. I'm not doing that. The Stoic Challenge.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
What a turn.
I'm very lazy this right now. I'm very tired. This book was recommended to me by somebody at work because I was easily like influenced. I could get grumpy very easily by stupid things that shouldn't make me grumpy.
Yeah.
This book is like it's not a self-help book. It's more like it's like a take at Stoicism, like how you can apply Stoicism to modern day life.
Yeah.
And it really helped me. Like I've taken a lot of things from this book and applied it to my everyday life, and it's really made a big difference.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Stoicism.
I might need to read that because I feel like sometimes I feel like
legit. I think
little
should read it.
things just like little things just like piss me off.
Yeah, for no reason.
Honestly, sometimes the little things piss me off more than like if something big were to happen.
Yep.
And it's like just the minor like little annoyance. Like literally, like sometimes even with like my kids, like I'm just like they do like little things that I'm like,
dude,
that set me off more than if they like do something extreme. Like I get more mad. I'm like, why am I like I have to like look at myself like in the middle of me like about to like freak out. I have to look at myself and be like, is this actually like are they even gonna understand?
Yep.
Like when they do something big, like they probably understand that whatever they did was not good.
Yeah.
But like when they do something small, like they might not even know that what they did was not not good. Like it was a bad thing to do.
You should read it.
So I have to like look at myself and I'm like, try not to freak out right now because like he probably didn't even realize that whatever he's doing is
that's one of the things.
A bad thing.
One of the things is if something annoying happens or something like that makes you grouchy, if you look at it and you think, like if someone does something to you, like your kid, they're not meaning to make you grouchy. They're not meaning to like hurt your feelings. They're just doing it on their own thing. They're not taking your feelings into consideration. You shouldn't let it bother you.
Yeah.
It's the Stoic Challenge, A Philosopher's Guide to Becoming Tougher, Calmer, and More Resilient by William B. Irvine.
Look at you.
Check it out. I Googled it.
You got less lazy.
You started talking like, ooh, I can Google it now. I cannot Google and talk. I will fuck it up. So, anyway, that book made a huge impact on my life. So, yeah, that was, it jumped in my honorable mention.
Alrighty. So this, my honorable mentions, one of these is like the first one. It's called Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance.
What is this?
So this is not for everybody. And I freely admit that like some people probably won't give a shit about this, but it's like J.D. Vance grew up in Ohio, in like a poor area of Ohio, but his family, like his ancestors, were from Eastern Kentucky, poor.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a telling, like, it's especially like right now with everything that, or it's not as much. Like, I mean, it fits now, but like when everything was going crazy back, like with the police brutality and like the race stuff, like when it was at its height, this was a good book for that kind of, because it's his stance is that like it shouldn't be race. Like there's poor people that need to like there's a lot of like race stuff that's like poor white people and poor black people, you know what I mean, that are like hating each other when really like they need to come together and try to figure out a way for like both of them
to fight the man,
to help each other out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
because they're in the same boat. They have more in common than they do.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You were losing me, but now
they have more in common as like poor Americans than they do as far as their race goes.
Oh yeah.
Like there's race is not that big of a thing. Like they have way more in common than they have differences. And so it's just kind of, I don't know, It's just an interesting tale. It's about kind of like his childhood and stuff like that. But it's kind of, that's kind of what I took away from it anyways, is like, we have like way more in common as a country, like, but as far as like the poor in this country. Because like, let's be honest, most of, maybe not to that level of poor where it's like Eastern Kentucky poor and stuff.
Poor.
But like, most of this country's not wealthy by any means. I mean, you're talking like 1% of the country is is super wealthy. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's people that have plenty of money, but like there's a lot of people in this country that are poor, and like it's just, I don't know, it's just like,
shout out capitalism.
It's that tale the tale of this guy's childhood and growing up and like having family in East Kentucky and living in Ohio in a poor area, and he kind of comes out of it. And so it's just, I don't know, I found it really interesting. I read it a few years ago because one of the guys on KSR, he reads a lot. The main guy, Matt Jones, he reads a lot.
People can read on KSR?
And he will recommend he'll recommend books every once in a while, and this is one that he recommended like pretty good while ago.
Well, since he recommended it, I'm not going to read it.
J.D. Vance, by the way, is very into politics now, so you might not necessarily agree with his politics and stuff.
Probably not.
But don't let that stop you from reading the book, because I don't feel like in this book that there's any like political agenda or weird political views or anything. Like it's just pretty good. The next one on my list is I
gross.
I feel like I had to put a Nicholas Sparks book in
You
there.
seem like a Nicholas Sparks guy.
And this is my favorite one of his. So it's a Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks. It's pretty good. I like it.
That's
And
fair.
then my last honorable mention is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins.
I have this book. I have not read it.
You should read it. It's pretty good. It's one of those suspense books.
Yeah. Those aren't really my jam.
It's very similar. See, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. But it's very similar to another one on my actual top 5. So it's similar in the sense that it's like the same like suspense. Like you don't know like twists and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and go to my number 5. My number 5 is The Green Mile by Stephen King. I went ahead and did this as a single book, even though they were like individual novellas or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like a collection of novellas, I think, originally, but I put this as a single book because I'm pretty sure that's how people read it now anyways. So, because, I mean, it comes in a single bound book, I think, most of the time when you get it. So, so I'm counting it as a single book, but just very good Stephen King book.
I want to read it. I've never watched the movie either.
The movie's very good, too.
I've heard that.
But, they do a pretty good job in the movie of sticking to the book, so it's pretty similar. So if you've watched the movie, I would definitely say check the book out too, because if you liked the movie, you'll probably like the book. It's pretty good.
Is it a long book? Like,
no, it's not Stephen King.
Because some of his are so meaty. I'm like,
we're not talking like it or
The Stand is like 1 billion pages.
Yeah, like no, they're not that.
Okay,
thick.
cool. I might
not
check it
even
out.
close. They're like, I don't know, probably about that thick, like I don't know.
That's not bad. Okay.
Maybe a 400-page book, something like that. I don't know exactly how many pages it is, but like, not crazy. Now we're not talking 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
But that's it. We'll see what your number 5 is.
Sticking with Stephen King, I'm gonna go The Stand by Stephen King.
So Stephen King kind of has like his different style of books. He's got like his like scary like ones, and he's got his like kind of not really freaky ones. Is it one of the scary ones or one of the not?
It's kind of scary, yeah.
Okay.
The main bad guy's really creepy, and
okay,
yeah, it's a dude.
Because like my sister, like one of my sisters, Olivia,
shout out Olivia. She's a listener. She comments.
Yes, she listens every week. She usually tells me after she.
I don't agree with her comments, but it's fine.
But she likes the Stephen King books that aren't like his weird, creepy. Like
no, this one's
weird, but
definitely
ones.
some weird, creepy.
Because like when she first said like she likes Stephen King books, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But that's because most of the ones I've read have been on the opposite side, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like you at all. But
I wouldn't recommend this one to her then.
Okay.
Do you know what it's about?
No.
It's about a virus that breaks out, kills almost everybody, and then the survivors that survive, there's like a calling, like a good calling and an evil calling, and you either go to the good calling or the evil one, and then they come together and they have a good versus evil battle. It's fucking terrifying. I read it before COVID, loved it, great book.
And then COVID happened, and
then COVID happened, and I was like, oh, I should read The Stand. Like, it would be great. Fucking terrible idea. It was horrifying because it really goes into the outbreak and like there's one chapter where it's just like small stories of the outbreak, and like it's fucking wild, dude. Like they have a kid, and the whole family dies, and this kid's just wandering around, surviving, figuring it out, falls into a well and dies. Like he survived COVID, fell into a well, like dumb shit like that. That chapter is so good. But this book, it's like Game of Thrones style, where each chapter is a character and their perspective. Some come together, some like, battle it out and shit. It's fun. You should. I recommend it if you like the creepy scary.
Alrighty.
My number 4 is East of Eden by John Steinbeck.
I have not read this.
This one.
So far, I've only read it.
Yeah, you should. If you want to read Steinbeck, or like read a classic, I recommend this one. It's great. Like it's a story. It's an intergenerational story of his 2 families, and it's based off the Cain and Abel story in the Bible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's good, bro. There's a lot of like Steinbeck's really good at making characters that are fun and like cool. One of my favorite characters of all time. He's an Asian character in this book, and he's funny, man. Like I don't want to spoil it. He's a great character. Like right. He's very nuanced. It's good, bro.
Alrighty, so my number 4 is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn.
Sure.
This is the book that I was talking about that is very similar to The Girl on the Train.
Yeah.
Because it is... it's kind of that, like, suspense. Like, has twists and turns. You don't really know, like, what's going to happen. And then, like, when you think you do, it kind of twists on you. So, definitely check that out if you like that kind of story.
Movie's great as well.
Yes, very good.
That was shot in my hometown. Well, basically.
Really?
Yeah. Shot in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Nice.
Yeah, anyway. Shout out. That stupid town. Anyway. Go on.
But, and then number 3 is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes.
I've never heard of that one.
So, this could be considered a series. Because technically, she wrote 2 more that are about the same chick. But I didn't consider it a series because fine. I read the Me Before You, like, before I even knew that and it ends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has an ending. It's not like it's...
Yeah.
You're questioning, like, waiting for the next book to figure out what happens. Like, it ends. So...
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Also, it's too late to not allow it, so...
Yeah, so... I include it for that reason. Like, I read it standalone. I don't think I've read the other 2. I have them. I just haven't read them yet.
Yeah.
But this is like it's a story about this chick that she gets a job taking care of a paraplegic. They made a movie of it. The movie's really good too. It's got the chick that plays Emilia Clarke or whatever, the chick that plays Daenerys.
Oh, I've seen clips of it. I don't know.
So, basically, she gets hired to take care of this paraplegic, and it's just the story of, like, her and this dude, and, like, her helping him out. I don't want to ruin it, but it is very good.
You're schmaltzy, like.
Huh?
You like feelings.
Oh yeah, how did you not know this about me?
I didn't know that until the podcast. Like, you're very. I love feelings, and you're very feeling for. Like, I'm here for that.
Yeah, I'm the only person in my family that embraces their feelings.
That's healthy. Great, good for you.
I grew up in a family that, like, being all lovey-dovey was not.
Yeah.
Was weird, and I was the one that was like hugging on people. And
you would be
all that stuff. So, like,
that's great.
So yeah,
it's good to see a man be all lovey-dovey.
Any of my family can tell you that I'm in my feelings.
That's great. I love that.
But yes, so this book will put you in your feelings. If you haven't watched the movie or read it, definitely read it. It's good.
Will I cry?
Watch the movie too. You will cry.
Okay, cool.
I can guarantee you will cry.
Well, I cried at everything.
I know that you cried a lot, so you'll definitely cry at this.
Hell yeah.
But that is it. I mean, just check it out. It is really good. Basically, I would say check out if any of these that fit into your wheelhouse of books, you should definitely check them out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you to read something that it's outside of your.
I will.
I mean,
not really.
I would suggest you check it out, but if you don't like that kind of stuff, you probably won't necessarily like it. So, but I mean, you still should check it out. They're good.
I'm sure.
But you're number 3.
I'm very hyped to talk about it now that I know that you've read it.
Yes.
Because we've never talked about it. It's 11/22/63 by Stephen King.
Bro, that book is so good.
I love this book.
It's so good.
I love it so much.
And it's like... I don't even... It has such a twist towards the end.
The end is wild.
The end gets really a little weird.
Yeah, it does.
But it's still so good.
Dude, the love story... Favorite love story of all time, I think.
Really?
I love the love story. Yeah. Dude, yeah.
I feel like I didn't read it that long ago, but I don't remember a love story necessarily being like...
What? That's like the whole point of the book. Well, kind of. Kind of. It is...
It is a part of the book.
But it's like one of the main... you need to read this book again.
Apparently,
you know?
I probably don't need to read it. I probably just need to read like some sort of summary because I feel like
I'm the teacher.
Yes. Okay.
Dude,
yes.
That's
yes.
like the whole point.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Now it's not the whole point,
it's
but
like,
yes.
I disagree.
I mean, it is.
It is
a point, but it's not the whole point. But yes.
So let me set it up. Let's set it up so they know what it is.
Yeah.
11/22/63. It's the date of the assassination of JFK.
Yes.
This guy, he gets introduced to like a time travel portal, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
And gets tasked with stopping the assassination, because if he stops it, it'll prevent wars, people dying. There's
this whole.
It'll change the course of humanity, supposedly for the good, is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I like the rules of the time travel, because like some time travels I hate.
Yeah.
It's weird. This one I like, because if you go to the portal, you go back to like 1958, I think 57.
Yes.
At the same day, same time, every single time. So you can go to the portal. You can come back through the portal. You'll go to your current time, and whatever you did there, whatever changes you made, changed.
Yeah.
But if you go back through the portal again, it erases everything, so you get a redo.
Yeah, and then you have to travel through all that time.
Yeah, so if you...
Because he goes up... Did you say it was 58?
It's like 5 or... It's a decent amount of time before.
So he basically has to... He's trying to make it to 63, so he has to, like, go through...
He has to live a life. And
yeah, he has to, live a life and plot this out.
Yeah.
Like, how to stop it.
And it's... Man...
And it's,
Stephen King's so good, because, like, when you read it, you feel like you're in the 50s and 60s. Like, it takes you back to that time.
Yeah, it does. I remember when I was in the 60s.
I know.
It was such a good time.
It would have been... Well, I mean, for you, it would have been a great time. As a straight white man, you would have thrived during that time. Me, not so much, But dude, the time travel's great. The love story's great. The historical part of it's fun too. Like,
that's originally why I.
Yeah.
He even travels through.
Derry.
Yep. Derry, Maine.
I
and
love.
He hears stuff about.
He meets the kids, like a couple of them.
Yeah. So yeah.
Dude, yeah. It's Stephen.
I thought that was pretty cool too.
Dude. You know that meme of Leo DiCaprio like pointing at the TV or something? He has like a glass of something. You ever seen that meme?
No.
Where he's like pointing.
I've seen the one where it's like Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Or that one too.
Spider-Man.
But when that moment happened in the book, I'm like, yeah, I know those kids. That was dope.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that part was pretty cool too.
The ending is, dude. So when I read books, I read so fast the first time and I don't digest it properly, so I have to reread it at a later time.
Thick book to be rereading.
I've read it like 3 times now. I love it so much. But anyway, every time I read this book, I take it slow. I get to the last fourth of the book, and then I fly. I can't slow down because, like, it's so stressful. And, like, they do some wild shit. Like, dude.
Yeah.
I love. And I cry every time I read this book.
He goes back and tries to... There's a janitor that works at his school. This guy is a school teacher.
Oh, the janitor.
Or a substitute or something. Oh, no. He teaches English as a second language courses, isn't it? Or GED classes. That's what it is.
GED classes.
GED classes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He teaches GED classes, and there's a janitor at this school that he teaches it at that is, like, mentally handicapped because he got, like, abused or shot or something happened when he was a kid. So that's like the first thing he goes back and tries to fix so he can see if it's working.
Yeah.
So I like that part of the story too.
And I like...
Because that's how he ends up in Derry, Maine.
Yeah.
Is because that gentleman, the janitor or whatever, grew up in Derry, Maine.
And, like, he plays with fate a lot in this book.
Yeah.
Where, like, you can go try to stop fate, but somehow it's always going to work out how it was supposed to work out, essentially.
Yeah, it just always ends up like he changes one thing, and then and then because he changed that one thing, fate flips it to where it still ends up with the final result that's the same. So he has to fight it.
Yep.
Like he's constantly having to go in and figure out, okay, well, I did this, so I need to do this plus this to try to get it to work out, and then it just constantly keeps happening.
I want to read this book again.
Yeah.
Have you watched the show?
No, I haven't.
James Franco's the main character.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Like
I watched the first episode. James Franco.
Is because it was James Franco?
Not
it
the main.
Wasn't good.
Yeah, because like he's just not the main character, man. I can't get into it. I hate it so much.
I think you just don't care for James Franco.
I don't, but also he doesn't fit the main character. Like,
I guess I don't know.
Anyway, I could talk about this book for forever. I think. Don't be scared of the Stephen King being the author. It's not a creepy, scary book.
Hello.
And there's a part that's
a little creepy, I guess.
A little creepy towards the end, but
yeah, creepy and not creepy in the sense that it doesn't have like a creepy, like, bad person.
It's not bad. No, it's just
like
weird
kind of creepy. Like, gives you chills, kind of.
Weird. It's weird.
Like a weird creepy.
Yeah. You have anything else you want to say on it?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Moving on to my number 2, which I think I've talked about this already. We've talked about it.
Yes, we have. We've talked about it on here.
Yeah, so I'll keep it short and sweet here. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
It is a very good book.
It's a very good book. It's such a good book. It was my number 1 for a long time. And it's got demoted recently.
It is very good.
It's a story about not Hercules. Oh my god, I'm tired.
Achilles
and Patroclus.
It's about the Song of Achilles.
Yeah. Bro, I'm real tired.
The Song of Achilles about Hercules. He
Shut the fuck up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, it's basically the love story. It's told through
Patroclus.
Yeah, Patroclus. Basically about Achilles, but it's basically a love letter.
Yep.
It's basically Patroclus' love letter of Achilles. Yep. Like all the things that he loves about him and that kind of stuff.
It's also about Patroclus coming into his coming to his own. Like that character is one that I relate to a lot. It's
kind of about him coming into his own, but at the same time, like he's still, I feel like, doesn't like. I don't feel like he.
What?
I feel like he kind of like starts to bloom, and then he just doesn't ever like fully flourish. That's
Baloney.
What I got from the book.
Well, you need to read it again.
That's what I got from it.
Bro, he becomes like I don't want to spoil it.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying like at the end he kind of diminishes himself a little bit and I know it's because he loves them and all that.
Yeah,
he kind of diminishes himself at the end. You know what I mean?
He makes a very poor choice.
Yeah.
the ending of that book is like, oh, I don't know how you didn't cry. It tears me up every time. Especially, so the author, the way she writes
really
is...
cry a lot when I'm reading.
I do. Especially when I'm reading.
Yeah.
The author she's very flowery in her writing. It's very, like, ornate and pretty. The whole story is told through Patrick Lee's point of view.
Yes.
And then there's it goes to another point of view at the end. It's fucking brilliant. I love it so much. I love the end of that book. It's, oh my god, I could tear up right now thinking about it.
The one thing is that, like, Achilles' mom
is a
cunt.
bitch.
Oh,
I was going to say that, but I was like, oh my god, she's a cunt.
Sorry.
She's the cuntiest cunt, but also I'm kind of here for her. Like, I want to see a movie.
She has to be.
Bro.
For the book to be as good as it is, like, she has to be, but at the same time, like, oh my god.
Especially.
Lady.
If I could punch someone through a book, punch her right in the jaw.
Yeah.
I hate her. She would kill me.
She always just thinks she knows best. Which, I mean, maybe in the end, as far as, like, maybe she does know her son best and, like, knows what he wants out of life, but that's just annoying. But it also doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened.
Achilles is kind of annoying, too.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
I wanted to punch him. But anyway, it's a great book.
It is what he is, though. He is what he is. You
Wow.
know, it's not gonna... And that's the reason why Patrick Lees loves him. It's because he is who he is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like...
He's great and annoying.
Yeah. But we'll go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
My number 2 is The Martian by Andy Weir.
I tried to read this 3 times. I cannot get into it.
Okay, so here's the secret.
His writing bothers me.
Here's the secret. Listen to it on audiobook.
Maybe okay.
Listen to it on audiobook.
I've heard that before.
Because if I didn't even try to read this, I just happened across it, like, because I don't do it as much now because I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I used to, like, would be reading a actual physical book, and then I would have, like, an audiobook I'd be listening to at the same time. So, like, anytime I was driving, I would listen to an audiobook, but if I wasn't driving, I would be reading a different book. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like
Not
that.
the same book.
Yeah.
So I'd be reading, like, I would be getting 2 different books at the same time. Just gotta make sure you don't have anything that's too similar when you do that.
Yeah, that would be my problem.
But I usually always have something that's, like, not at all similar when I'm doing it. But listen to it on audiobook.
Okay.
I don't know this, but if I feel like if I had tried to read it, I don't know that it would have been as good.
I hate it
and
so
like
much.
the audiobook is so good. The reader and stuff is so good. Like I don't know, it's very good. It's like almost as entertaining as watching a movie.
I think because the writing's weird.
And
it'd be fun to listen to. It's not fun to read.
I can guarantee it because it's like all captain's logs. And stuff like
fucking
that.
Horrible.
But it's so good. It is such a good book. So definitely,
that.
You listen to it on audiobook.
I love the movie. The movie's great.
Try it on audiobook because it's so good. And then my number 1 is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that is.
So I ran across this author because I was at one point I was like on Pinterest and stuff. I would like look at like book pins and stuff, and I would just write down like different books that I would want to eventually read. So I got a Kristen Hanna book, The Nightingale, that's supposed to be like really good.
I've heard of that.
I haven't read it, but I got that one first. But I hadn't. It was a physical copy, and I actually listened to this on audio. This was another one that like was an audiobook that I was listening to while I was reading something else, and it is so good. It's about this young girl and her mom and dad. They moved to Alaska, and her dad's kind of like, he was in the military. He's got PTSD and all that stuff, and then like it's just I don't know. I don't want to explain too much because I don't want to like accidentally like ruin too much.
What kind of book is it? Like a?
It's like
slice of life.
It's kind of like a love story, adventure kind of thing. Like this girl kind of. It's hard. I don't know how
Yeah,
to like.
that's fair.
I don't know how to pin it down. It's kind of like a. Okay, I'll just put it this way. It's her trying to basically save her mom and herself from the father. And, like, there's some, like, love story aspects in it.
Okay.
But, like, it's kind of like a...
There's trauma there.
Trying to survive in Alaska, basically.
Oh, okay. I could get into that.
Trauma, like... you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She's trying to survive her dad, and she's also trying to survive Alaska, because they're not from Alaska originally. They're from, like, the main states.
I'll check this one out, because I can vibe to that.
But I really like it. It's very good. Also, I've listened to another Kristen Hanna book that was really good too, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I've listened to 2 different of her books, and like they're both like I think you would consider like most of them kind of like love stories sort of. So, but like they're both very good.
All right.
So far that I've read. So she seems like a good author. I have like a ton of her books now, and I've only read 2 of them, but like or listened to 2 of them, but I have like a ton of them on my shelf. In fact, I had The Great Alone as an actual hard copy book that I didn't even realize it when I got the audiobook. So I listened to the audiobook, and then one day I was like, I want to read one of these Kristen Hanna books, and I grabbed The Great Alone to read it. Familiar. I grabbed The Great Alone to read it, and I started like the first chapter. I'm like,
I've done this before.
This seems super familiar. So then I like looked up the synopsis, and I was like, oh shit, this is the one I listened to on audiobook.
Yeah.
So I ended up when I quit it, I ended up completely going to something totally. I didn't even stay in Kristen Hanna. I just went to something.
I'm done with you for now.
So, but yeah, that's it. It's very good. Definitely check it out.
Hell yeah.
And then your number 1.
My number 1.
We've also talked about.
Because Yep, we talked about it. The Road by Cormac McCarthy, R.I.P.
Yes.
Legend.
So this is the one that you told me I needed to read.
I would love for you to read this book.
Okay.
I think, so...
Once I finish all 7 of the Foundation books.
Okay. I have it if you want to borrow it.
And then I go on to Outlander and finish that.
Okay, so you're never going to read it. That's fine. You're missing out, man. It's such a good...
Nah, I probably will. I just was giving you shit. I definitely this... Now that I'm reading this Foundation, this first one, as long as like I can get through it decently quick and like I feel like I like it, I'm probably gonna try to just bust them all out.
That's fair.
So I can actually like get the full run of the story.
Yeah.
I feel like with the Outlander, I can break them up and it won't be that devastating.
Yeah.
But like I feel like on this, I want to read it all the way.
And just stop reading those. Read Cormac. You need to read Cormac McCarthy.
I will. I'll check it out eventually.
You need to, because like that's a dude right there.
Just audiobook it. Listen to it in my car or something.
Oh, no, you shouldn't. You need to read it, bro.
Dude, some books are so good on audiobook, though.
You need to read the words on the page for like, the way Cormac writes. I don't know.
You don't think they don't talk it? They don't talk it like he writes it?
I don't know. I think it'll hit different.
I think there are audiobooks that are destructive to what it is.
Yeah. I think this one would be destructive.
There's some that they do. But I think a lot of the times it's not even necessarily that the audiobook is destructive. I think it's the voice actor that like
that plays the most. Yep.
That doesn't like just doesn't do read it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
I would never recommend an audiobook.
Somebody reads it dry too. They ruin it immediately, no matter what it is.
No, you need to read this one.
Whatever,
bro. It's so good. The way Cormac writes, it's so good. And it's a father and son story. Them trying to survive a post-apocalyptic world.
Gotcha.
Bro. I read it a couple months ago.
You're very into the post-apocalyptic worlds.
So I have a very specific genre of things that I love the most. It's a father figure, and then like a younger child figure trying to survive and navigate this world, like a post-apocalyptic world. They're always on a journey. They're always trying to get somewhere. Like The Road, The Last of Us, that movie that you hate, Children of Men. It's similar. It's a very specific genre. It's one that I hold dear to my heart, and this one I think does it the best. Like, I don't know. It's dark. You gotta be tough to read Cormac.
If you can read it, I think the rest of our listeners can probably read it.
Bro, I wish I had it in front of me right now.
You literally just said how much you cry on all these books, and then you're like, you got to be tough to read Cormac McCarthy.
Dude, I cry every time I read it. So I read it a couple months ago. I read it on the road to vacation. We went to Virginia or whatever.
You read The Road on the Road to Virginia?
I read The Road on the Road.
Gotcha. Okay. I was really confused. I'm like, are we still talking about The Road or...
Bro, I cried. It was great. Didn't
you just finish it not that long ago?
Yep. But like, I read it, could not stop thinking about it. Thought about it like almost every day. and then Cormac McCarthy died, and so then I kept seeing it everywhere. So I kept thinking about it harder. So I'm like, I just gotta read it. I gotta get it out of my system. And it is out right now. I haven't thought about it in a minute. But bro, like, I don't know, dude. That book has a hold on me. So
okay, I'll have to check it out.
You should check it out.
There's a bunch of stuff I have to check out from our podcast, and I'm never gonna remember all the things I need to check out.
No. I feel like I'm just gonna tell you I'll check it out and I'll never.
Here's the thing, which you've started doing it, we're gonna have to start making sure we screenshot all these things, because these top 5 lists, because that's what's going to happen, is because we talk about like stuff we got to check out from the top 5, and then we erase it, and then we don't even know unless we go back and listen to the podcast.
Which I'm not doing, because I listen to our voices enough as it is. I literally hate it.
So that is that's it for our top 5 favorite books.
Yep.
We went ahead and screenshotted this one, so
We'll know what we talked about.
Yeah, so we'll know what we talked about somewhat.
Also, if you want to send us your top 5 favorite books, that'd be dope.
We definitely are into reading, so we definitely love suggestions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of reading some of the comments and giving the votes.
Actually, the episode's over now.
On
we're done.
On the last episode.
We don't have to.
Choke me, Popeyes. So, who has the better top 5? There was 6 votes, one of which was mine, one of which was Nate's. So 4 votes other than me and Nate. And I won the vote 5-1. So technically I won the vote 4-0. I gave him a big goose egg on this one, guys. He had nobody that agreed with him other than himself. And now I'm going to read the comments.
We don't have to, though.
John Bell says, they built the huts during COVID so the orders can be made quicker while the line is long. Also, comment with footlong or whatever was awesome. Luke's list is way better than Nate's. My list is better.
John Bell, you're always right, so it's fine. But I want to know your top 5. Let us know.
And then my sister Olivia said, never a more true statement than the one about the Popeyes biscuits. I was cracking up because it's a very weird statement, but wildly true.
Agreed. Yep. That's a great comment. We can stop there, though.
Yeah, you said something about her comment being bad.
I couldn't remember who actually made the other comment.
Yeah, and then I'm like,
so sorry,
I don't
Olivia.
really remember it being.
You're great. My bad.
And then Haley, which is my sister-in-law, said justice for Patty's mac and cheese recipe. I'm assuming is what that was supposed to be.
Oh, is that Patty? Your mother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
No,
yeah.
my mom is Patty. It's her mother.
Oh yeah.
McDonald's is so overrated. Terrible fake food that can't be good for you in so many ways.
That's why it's great.
Popeye's biscuits are bomb.com. Raising Cane's should be higher.
That's fair.
So
I don't really have a lot of disagreement with that one, actually. There should be more comments in my favor, though. That's my only problem.
Yeah, but nobody thought that you had a better top 5 than me, so they're not going to comment on your lack of good taste in fast food.
I think people just feel bad for you for losing all the other votes.
Oh my god, I literally sent you screenshots. That's how, so listeners, that's how I ended up voting on the top 5 whose was better, is that I needed to see the results. Like, I wanted to be able to screenshot the results so that I could send Nate every time we went head to head. He had this whole argument in his head, and I think he's delusional, that he had been like beating the crap out of me on all these votes.
I have been though.
And literally the only time he beat me was on the
movies.
The movies. That was the only time he beat me. I won the Taylor Swift discussion.
That was a tie.
The vote was a tie, but you know perfectly well that 50,000 people came up to both of us during that week and told us.
Oh, so you want to include that bullshit, but on the movies one you don't want to include it.
I will include it.
No, you're being fake.
No, I'll include it. You crushed me on the movies.
Damn right
I crushed you on the Taylor Swift thing.
Me.
The vote didn't show it, but I crushed you on that Taylor Swift thing. And don't you lie. Crushed him on the Taylor Swift thing. Then I beat him on the sides.
Barely.
He crushed me on the movies.
Damn right.
I beat him on the fast food very much, like overwhelmingly beat him on the fast food.
Someone stole the election.
And I feel like there was another one.
Nope.
But basically he's for some reason he thought he'd only lost one, and it turns out he'd only won one. So I had to take screenshots to send to him and be like, here's this one, here's this one, here's this one, and here's this one.
I'm going to create some accounts and start voting multiple times.
Yeah, cheater. He says I rigged the vote, but
I'm about to
people just agree with me more. But he's about to, go in and rig it.
Because your family listens and they all vote.
No, so here's the thing. My sister, I think it was my sister Olivia, literally sent me a text message after the movie one and said, I haven't seen very many of these movies at all. I basically haven't seen any of Nate's. But I'm not going to vote because I feel like it's unfair to vote for you.
Shout out Olivia.
If I haven't seen his... Like, she was like, I feel like it's too much of, like... Basically, I'm just picking yours because you're my brother.
Oh,
She's
now
like,
I
so
feel
I'm not going to vote.
I feel bad for talking shit about her.
So...
Alright,
boo on you.
Bro.
So most people don't vote if they actually, like, even my sister-in-law texted me on the side, and she was like, this has nothing to do with you being my brother-in-law. She's like, but Nate is wrong on his side or something. I don't remember exactly what the conversation was.
Sure,
but,
that sounds like a fake conversation then.
But anyways, so that is it for this week, guys. We really appreciate everybody listening. Continue to comment. Like I said, we love getting the comments, and I loved getting the comments this week.
This week was not a great week for me, but keep them coming.
But it'll bounce back his way one day, and he'll be glad that you're commenting. So
yeah.
So comment, share us with people. 5 stars on any of the apps you listen to us on, and
like our TikToks
and follow us on there. But that's another week with us. We'll be back next week with a new top 5. If anybody has suggestions, you can also shoot us that in person, text, whatever. You can comment it on Spotify, whatever. We don't have to publish. So if anybody wants to communicate with us, but they don't want their comment to be published on the episode or on Spotify, you can comment. We don't have to publish.
Yeah.
So just if you want to comment and say something, just put in there you don't want it published or something, and we won't.
Or email us. We have an email address.
Yeah, we do have an email address. Nobody emails us there.
Who emails anymore?
Anymore?
Yeah.
Mostly we just set up the email so that we could set up other accounts, but we do have it if anybody wants it. It's unimportantviewpoint@gmail.com.
Yeah, boy.
But that's pretty much it this week. We'll be back next week with a new top 5. If you got any suggestions, please send them to us because we haven't decided on one yet. Nope. And thanks for listening. We'll see you later.
Bye.